So John Watts is really excited and enthusiastic to see that a Spider-Man and a Venom movie crossover could be happening. And that's awesome to hear that a director for a Spider-Man film is really enthusiastic. Unlike Sam Raimi from the previous movies, which I adore and I love to death, he wasn't exactly excited for the character of Venom and having it in his films because he just didn't understand the character. But unfortunately, it was forced upon him to place that character in the film by Sony and specifically Avi Arad. So, with that being said, a potential Spider-Man and Venom crossover could be happening a little bit sooner than we think. Maybe I'm thinking about 2 or 3 years from now. And to talk about that, I have an article regarding the matter from superherohype.com, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it right after the intro. Hey guys, welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. My name is Ronnie, and today we're going to be talking about the enthusiasm that John Watts has for a potential Spider-Man and Venom crossover film. And to talk about the article, let's go ahead and read it from superherohype.com, and it says, published by Blair Marnell on superherohype.com, it says here that despite the fact that Spider-Man is firmly entrenched in the MCU, Sony's Venom exists outside of the continuity. Sony has made no secret of its desire to have a small Marvel movieverse of its own. However, Venom's intrinsic link to Spider-Man has left some hope for eventual crossover. While promoting Spider-Man Far From Home, director John Watts addressed that a potential Venom and Spider-Man team-up and expressed his enthusiasm for it. Comic Book Movie asked Watts how a crossover between Tom Hardy's Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man would work given the differences in their films. But Watts indicated that the two franchises aren't so dissimilar after all. I found Venom to be so funny and I thought Tom Hardy was so great. I don't know that they are so different, said Watts. I think you put those two Toms together and you're already going to get something pretty special. During an interview with Cinema Blend, Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige suggested that the ball was in Sony's court. I think probably it's up to Sony. Sony has both those characters and has Venom in their world, said Feige. I don't know what their plans are for Venom or if they're doing that, but it seems likely at some point. Although Venom and the MCU movies don't take place in the same world, that shouldn't be enough to stop the crossover. Far From Home deals with the multiverse, and it was all a big part of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If Marvel and Sony are amenable, it wouldn't take too much to bring Venom and Spidey together again. So do you guys think that a Spider-Man and Venom should get their own crossover movie? You let me know in the comment section below. And that pretty much explains it. I mean, the ball really is in Sony's court. Sony does have control over that character, and so do they have control over Spider-Man. They still technically own the rights to Spider-Man, but he's being shared with the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Spidey belongs home. As far as a potential Spider-Man and Venom movie, we'd have had to see how that would come to fruition and if that comes into fruition. But it's all up to Sony from this point on because Sony isn't straying away from creating its own universe within the Marvel universe. Not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just Marvel in this case. Sony does want a piece of that pie and have their own universe with their own characters, specifically from the Spider-Verse. So, at this point, everything's up in the air, and it's really up to Sony to make the decision whether they want Spider-Man and Venom together. And to me, that's a no-brainer. I think it would place a lot of butts in seats. It would be a massive cash cow, and we can finally at least get the Venom look that we want in the film, because in the first Venom film, Venom's completely black, inky, and oily looking without any symbols on him, just, veins and stuff like that. Maybe, perhaps, if they do a crossover, Venom would look at Spider-Man's design and think, he'd be inspired and he would make himself a spider emblem symbol on his chest. That's what I'm thinking if that were to happen. But we'll see. Anyways, guys, you let me know your thoughts if a Spider-Man and Venom crossover should happen pretty soon. If not, how long do you think it'll take? 3 years, 2 years, 4 years maybe, tops? We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on bell notifications so y'all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.